What if you're a psychopath and you don't even know it? I'm not talking about the movie version, no hockey mask, no chainsaw. I'm talking about the real world, functioning, blending in, paying your taxes psychopath. People who shake your hand, remember your birthday, and maybe can't actually feel empathy the way most people do. Here's the thing, you could be one, and you might never find out. Not because you're in denial, but because the way it works in everyday life is way more subtle than the stuff you see in American Psycho. They're CEOs, they're surgeons, they're running for public office. They're sitting next to you in the break room asking you if you want the last donut. Not because they care if you're hungry, but because it makes them look good. Hey, welcome to Breakfast Cereal. My name's Josh. This is gonna be a little different from what I usually cover on here. Normally, I'm talking serial killers, crime theories, all that big picture, weird dark question kind of stuff. But if you've been following along in the comments section, I keep seeing one word pop up again and again and again. Psychopath. I mean, what a psycho. And you know what? I love that, by the way. I love how much you guys throw theories, questions, and ideas into the comments. It makes these videos feel more like a back and forth. So today I thought I'd break away from the usual flow and do something different. Actually sit with this word, psychopath. First thing, psychopath isn't an official diagnosis anymore. Surprised? I mean, that was news to me too. I didn't know that until I sat down to play Serial Killer Guess Who with forensic psychologist Dr. Rachel Tolles last year sometime. Which, by the way, is a video you should definitely check out if you haven't seen it. I'll link it up top somewhere and down in the description. Anyway, the modern term is usually antisocial personality disorder, but psychopathy is still studied as a set of traits, a cluster of personality characteristics and behaviors that show up across a person's life. Psychologists measure it with something called the Hare Psychopathy Checklist Revised, PCL-R. I mean, this is the gold standard. So, what do you think? Are you ready? You wanna take the test? Here is the checklist of traits. Glibness. Okay. Superficial charm. Grandiose sense of self-worth. Need for stimulation / proneness to boredom. Pathological lying. Conning or manipulative. Lack of remorse or guilt. Shallow affect, callous lack of empathy, parasitic lifestyle, poor behavioral controls, promiscuous sexual behavior, early behavioral problems, lack of realistic long-term goals, impulsivity, irresponsibility, failure to accept responsibility for own actions, many short-term marital relationships, juvenile delinquency, revocation of conditional release, criminal versatility. The kicker? You don't need all 20. High scores on certain clusters can still tilt you heavily towards the psychopathic end of the scale. So let me ask you, after going through that checklist, are you feeling a little bit nervous? I mean, I did a little bit. Or you maybe looking at someone close to you, your partner, or the guy operating the camera over here and thinking, looking at him just a little bit differently right now. You ready to, call the cops and have your partner locked up before they go on a rampage?
This channel is reserved for emergency calls only.
No fucking shit, lady! Do I sound like I'm ordering a pizza?
Okay, hold on. Not every psychopath ends up in prison. Some actually thrive in society. Psychologists call them functional or successful psychopaths. These are people who have the traits, but they channel it into careers where those traits are rewarded, like CEOs and executives. Research by this guy, Dr. Kevin Dutton. Okay, right, hold on. We're really gonna take this guy's word for it? I mean, you'd have to be a psycho to think that haircut looks good, if you ask me. But anyways, he suggests that corporate leadership positions have a higher than average percentage of people with psychopathic traits. Or surgeons. The ability to make high stakes decisions without emotional interference, that can be life-saving. How about lawyers and politicians? Being persuasive, unflappable, and strategic without getting tangled in personal feelings can be an asset, for sure. It's wild, right? The exact same traits that land one person in prison can help land another a corner office. But here's where it gets even weirder. If psychopathy can fly under the radar like that, how would you even know if it's flying under your radar? That's where things get personal. If you've never been in a situation where your lack of empathy caused serious problems, you might not even notice it's missing. You might think of yourself as logical or practical when you're really just emotionally detached. And here's the mind-bending part. Psychopaths are often really good at faking empathy. They learn the socially appropriate response, memorize it, and then perform it. But then again, if you're a psychopath, do you even know that you're faking it? Fuck, I don't know. It gets really confusing, don't you think? What would you look for? There are some subtle warning signs. Strategic charm. Turning it on when there's something to gain. Chronic boredom. Needing risk or chaos to feel stimulated. Emotional flatness in crisis. So like staying calm when everyone else is freaking out. Compulsive lying, even about just trivial things that don't even matter. Impulse-driven choices. Jobs, moves, relationships, jumping without a plan. The internet is full of "Are you a psychopath?" quizzes, and I guess I'm adding to it. But most of them just garbage. You can't just get a real answer from 10 Buzzfeed questions sandwiched between what kind of pizza are you and which Disney villain is your soulmate? Or a YouTube video like this. Real psychopathy is consistent, pervasive, and not situation dependent. You can't fake your way out of it or into it on a test just designed for clicks. The uncomfortable reality is that most psychopaths you'll meet won't be holding a knife. They'll be holding a resume. They'll be shaking hands. They'll just be smiling just the right amount. And you might never know what's actually going on inside. So, are you a psychopath and don't know it? Maybe. Probably not. But if you start noticing patterns in yourself or in others, it might explain a lot. Because at the end of the day, psychopathy isn't always about violence. Sometimes it's about the quiet absence of something that you didn't even realize was missing.